Okay, so good afternoon, good evening, good morning, or anya oras yung bibayan nating video presentation. So let's continue the discussion on the operations management and TKM. My apologies if haan kayo na-meet the previous ka meeting style. So I already mentioned kung ano yung reason ko why nga haan kayo na-meet DJ. I hope you fully understand my reason nga din ko. So I am taking advantage of this para mai-record ko na yung the whole or the remaining topics for this unit 1 para mayroon kayong time to review for your other lessons at the same time. Um, para makapag review na rin kayo for your quizzes and examination. Again, my apologies. So let's start now on the scope of operations management. I hope na clear yung ating audio same through with our um, video natin. So dito sa the scope of operations management natin, the operations functions includes yung as I mentioned dati, the interrelated activities. So, andito yung forecasting, the capacity planning, locating facilities and layout, the managing inventories, assuring quality, and motivating. So, parang ano lang sila, parang the same thought lang din with the activities that I already mentioned or the discussion that I already mentioned nung mga face-to-face interaction natin. Okay? Or baka meron pa akong hindi or nakalimutan na topic dito before we proceed to the other activities natin. Alright. Okay. So, meron naman na tayong ideas or idea about the word forecasting. Am I right? Kasi natapos na naman natin yung the degree of the customer contact, the uniformity of inputs, measurement of productivity, same with the quality assurance and ability to patent. So, I know na you have already the idea na about the forecasting, capacity planning, and locating facilities. Always remember that our topic for today talks about or cover the internal aspects of the organization. When say the internal aspects, yung the employees, the welfare of the employees, how are you going to develop or to improve the products, and how are you going to make it possible na maging effective yung sorry service na i-offer natin sa mga consumer natin or the customers of our organization. Okay? So when I say the scope of operations management, ito yung parang the wide range of activities that involve yung planning, producing, delivering, and the continuously improving the products and services that I na-mention ko kanina. So yung mga managers natin or the operations managers, uh, palagi nilang ini-ensure that the resources like yung people, the materials, the machines, money or capital and information are used efficiently to meet the organizational goals and the customer needs. So the operations functions includes many interrelated activities, meaning that each activity is connected and can affect or affects the other activities. So a problem in one area can impact the entire operation. So andito yung mga major activities natin as mentioned dito are shown to your screen: the forecasting, capacity planning, allocating facilities and layout, managing inventories, assuring quality, and motivating. Again, the scope of operations management talks about the internal aspect of the organization. Okay? So when you say forecasting, it is yung the process of predicting yung future demand, predicting the future demand for products or services that based on the available information. We say available information, ito yung mga historical data natin and the market trends na meron na tayong data the recent year or yung mga previous months natin. We are not going to forecast. Yes, forecasting we have to assume. Di ba, nagkaroon ng assumptions doon, pero assumptions with facts. Ibig sabihin nun, nag-assume tayo, but in regards with the data that are present or the information that is present sa ating company. So, why forecasting is important to the organization? Siyempre, the accurate forecast help the managers and the employees decide magkano yung kailangan nating i-produce, 'di ba? How many employees that we are going to hire. So how many or how much inventory to purchase and how much budget is needed. Sorry. So without forecasting, businesses can or make produce too many or too few products. Siyempre, ayaw naman natin magkaroon ng spoilage or yung inventory natin hindi maganda yung sorry po, pag-manage ng inventory natin. So it can affect the profit of the organization. So napaka-importante that we have the previous datas or informations natin to be para magkaroon tayo ng basis. Like for example, no, sa mga bookstores or sa mga bookstores nagbe-base sila sa mga the total enrollment ng mga students natin or total enrollment ng students that are enrolled to this specific subject, like for example sa operations management natin. So there are for example 350 na naka-enroll for the semester, and yun yung base nila para makapag-produce na ng panibagong books for the following school year, para doon sila kukuha ng data or information. At least meron silang allowances na ipro-provide. Allowance ibig sabihin that 350 na enrolled within this year, they have to add another 50, at least manageable na yung excess na yun kaysa naman na mag-short yung mga production companies or the mga manufacturing companies. So yun yung example ng ating forecasting. So, doon naman sa part ng total quality management, yung forecasting can helps to prevent yung shortages and waste, 'di ba? Ensuring that the customers receive products or mga services when needed. So, yun ibig sabihin ng forecasting. Next is capacity planning. Sorry for my voice. So, capacity planning, ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Parang determines the amount of resources an organization needs to meet the customer demand. Ibig sabihin nito, ano ba yung ano mga resources na kailangan natin to produce this product to meet the customer demand. Andiyan naman yung employees, yung machines, equipments, yung workspace, and the production time. So the goal is to have enough capacity to satisfy yung mga customers natin without creating unnecessary cost. Like for example, sa mga hospital, diba? Mga hospital expects more patients during mga flu season. Like for example, yung mga pagtag-ulan or mga, lalo na here sa Philippines, diba? Pag-ulan or mga taglamig during mga December or mga January or February, that's the time na medyo talagang mataas yung mga number of patients natin or patients ng mga hospital. So it is schedules na additional doctors and nurses and prepares more hospital rooms para ma-accommodate yung mga patients nila or dun sa mga areas din ng mga fast food chain. Anong oras ba na maraming customers during lunch break ba, mga dinner time ba, or mga time na madami nagbe-breakfast sa mga fast food chain na to. So like for example, itong previous weeks or previous days, pupunta ako sa mga fast food chain, pag breakfast o mga breakfast time, iisa lang yung nandun sa cashier. So nag-expect sila na kukunti lang, pero at that time pumunta ako, ang daming mga customers. So at might as well, meron silang intervention doon, meron silang plano just in case na nagkaroon sila ng maraming customers. Hindi lang yung nagkakaroon sila ng maraming queuing time or mga clients doon. Wag lang nilang hayaan na mas madami or mas mahaba yung pila nila just to open another cashier. O, diba? So you have to, the manager, at least meron siyang strategic foresight na just in case na meron ganito, meron siyang backup plan. Okay, so that's the capacity planning. Okay, next. Or example din sa mga accounting firms, 'di ba? Ang pinaka-busiest season nila during ano mga December or mga first month of the year. So dito maraming mga private institutions o mga government institutions talaga na nag-hire sa kanila to get their services to conduct audit. So marami ding maraming ding demand sa kanila. Hindi mo sila maiistorbo during that time. So mga HRs, kailan ba nagiging busy sila? Or pag tapos ng mga graduation days or phase ng mga universities. After that, after a month, maraming nag-apply sa kanila. Di ba? So, dapat tignan ng mga companies no, how they're going to handle this kind of situation. Okay? So, that's for the capacity planning. When say locating facilities naman, I think I already mentioned this one that the facilitation refers to parang selecting the best place where a business will operate. So, ibig sabihin nito, it is a big risk and a big impact on the part of the institution or the business if may maganda kang location. So, saan mo dapat i-locate yung product mo? So, dapat sa location pa lang, maraming bibili ng product na yon. Let's say, sa mga school supplies, sa mga fast food chain or mga restaurants, sino ba yung karaniwang bumibili sa kanila? Sino ba yung bibili sa kanila during the peak hours? So they have to determine kung sino yung mga target market nila, and then they have to locate their establishment to this area para they can accommodate or they can cater the needs or wants of their customers. So it's very important that they have to that can yung facility or the locating facilities, it can affect yung mga transportation costs, yung customer accessibility, the availability of labor, the availability of raw materials, same with the business profitability. So it boils down din naman sa profit natin. Kung maganda yung location natin, maganda yung products, same with the services, and ino-offer natin na products and services, it boils down doon sa profit ng business natin. So the factors that we have to consider, dapat malapit sa mga customers, malapit sa mga suppliers, yung transportation is accessible talaga, and then availability ng mga utilities natin, the safety and security of course, and yung cost of land or yung renta natin dito sa area na to. So, nasabi ko naman na kanina, fast food chain or the fast food restaurants, nag-open sa mga malapit sa mga schools, mga shopping centers, di ba? So, mga potential customers visit natin to those areas. Mayroon din nagsasabi or the feedback or news feed of the Facebook, doon sa Facebook post na if you want to put up for example, a gym, gym center, like for example, sa harap naman nito, pwede kang mag-put up ng um, uh, pag nagbebenta ka ng mga itlog, di ba? Kasi syempre, minsan, health conscious din yung mga gym rat eh. Or pag titignan mo din naman kung sino yung nasa location mo, yung mga businesses nandun. Diba? They have considered then kaya it's very important na if you want to put up a business, you have to conduct feasibility study. Titignan ko yung mga the indirect competitors mo and the direct competitors mo. Okay? So that's for the location facility or the locating facilities. Next is the factors to or the facility or the facilities layout. So facilities layout talks about the operation of the organization na to. So parang it is the arrangement of the machines, the equipment, the departments, the workstations, and the people within the workplace. So parang a good layout allows you to work or to work smoothly and safely. So pag ito kasi parang nasa sa mga factories na 'to, 'di ba? So the objectives kasi ng magandang layout or the good layout kasi it minimize yung unnecessary movement, improve productivity, increase safety, it reduce production time, and syempre it improve communication among employees lalo-lalo na kapag maganda yung workflow or yung ating, yung mga facilities layout natin. Like for example, sa mga supermarket, 'di ba? Sa supermarket, yung mga frequently purchased na products or items are easy to access because that's the number one or yung mga the usual na binebenta or nabibili dun sa kanilang mga supermarket. But in terms of marketing kasi sa mga ganitong product, medyo pag may capital ka or may budget ka to market your product, um you can pay a specific amount to locate your product in a visible area. So sa mga groceries or department store nakikita nyo naman kung nasaan yung mga products na ganito, mayroong mga bayad yan eh. May mga bayad yan or mga ranges pag nasa harapan yung products mo tapos nasa taas ng shelf. Ibig sabihin nun, maganda yung bentahin ng product. At the same time, maganda din yung bayad for marketing or for advertising this product. Okay? Or meron ding mga malapit din sa mga checkout counters that are near to exit. So, it's a part of advertising and marketing your product. So, sa mga factory naman, merong mga arrangement yung mga machines that according to the production process to reduce unnecessary transportation of materials, syempre to save time na din. Okay? Next, managing inventory. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng inventory na as I mentioned kanina sa forecasting natin, that inventory, ito yung mga materials natin, the supplies, products, and goods that the business keeps for future use of sale or use or sale natin. Ano ba yung mga types ng mga inventory? Andun yung mga raw materials, the work in process, the finished goods, and the office supplies. So why we need parang yung mga inventory management natin? Why is inventory management? So yung inventory management, it ensures that the organization has the right amount of inventory at the right time. So the goal to avoid ng inventory management natin is overstocking or the stocking shortages para to magkaroon ng waste or high storage costs. Like for example, yung mga pharmacy natin, yung pharmacy keeps enough medicine to meet the customer demand but avoids ordering excessive quantities that may expire. So, para maiwasan yung spoilage kanina as mentioned doon sa forecasting natin, make sure na maganda yung planning or yung decision making ng mga managers natin that relies on the data that are present to the organization. Hindi lang yung kailangan mong mag-order ng ganito, ng ganyan, ramihan mo na lang baka may bibili. Wag i-mention yung baka. You have to rely on the data are present doon. You can set allowances but yung allowance natin na you can take it or parang pwede mo siyang i-take risk. Hindi yung kailangan natin, okay? So the importance ng inventory doon sa ating or pag-manage ng inventory the total quality management. When we have a proper inventory management kasi it ensures the customers receive yung products on time while reducing the waste and the operating cost. Ibig sabihin, it's a win-win situation. You can produce the product at the same time mag-reduce ka ng waste and spoilage doon sa ating financial and then doon din sa operating cost natin. Kasi malalaman din natin sa Unit 2 or Unit 3 na that you have to produce or you have to um, order a product or goods depende kung ano yung kailangan ng mga customer mo. Kung ano yung kailangan, yun ang kailangan i-produce. So that's for the managing inventories. Next, assuring quality. So assuring quality, as mentioned din na quality assurance, it consists yung mga planned activities, yung mga planned activities that designed to ensure that the products and services consistently meet the established quality standards or the conformance that's set by the organization. So the focus is on preventing the defects rather than correcting them after they occur. Again, the focus of quality assurance is on preventing defects rather than correcting them after they occur. So if like for example, yung mga food manufacturing company, they have to check the ingredients, the packaging, the expiration dates, product cleanliness. So they have to check that. So example din dito yung mga hospital, di ba? Hospital, they have to follow standard procedure to ensure the patient safety and the community kung saan sila nag-work. So they have to figure it out kung paano nila titingnan doon. So they have to follow the guidelines stated doon sa kanilang company policy. Next is motivating yan. When you say motivating employees or motivating, talks about the employees of the organization. So, ano ba yung employee motivation? So, ito yung mga on how to encourage employees, di ba? Employees to perform their work effectively, efficiently, with commitment. So, alam naman natin that motivated employees are more productive and provide better customer service. Ano ba yung mga ways to motivate employees? Andiyan yung fair compensation, recognition and rewards, career development opportunities, some training programs that dapat hindi nyo siniset sa mga during weekends, okay? Positive work environment, and of course, open communication with understanding. Okay? So ano ba yung relationship ng mga yung mga activities na na-mention kanina from forecasting down to motivation or motivating. So like for example, a manufacturing company forecasts high demand during the holiday season, like for example during Christmas. So because of the forecast, managers can increase production capacity, purchase additional raw materials, organize a factory layout for faster production, then hire temporary workers, and then they have to monitor product quality and motivate employees through incentives. So if one function is neglected, the entire operation may be affected. Like for example, poor forecasting can lead to inventory shortages, delayed production, and dissatisfied customers that leads to lower profits. Okay? Again, yung scope of operations management natin, when you say forecasting, it ensures resources are available. When you say capacity planning, it prevents delays. Facility location, it improves accessibility and efficiency. For facilities and layout, it improves workflow. And for the inventory management, it reduces waste and ensures product availability. And for the last two, for the quality assurance, they have to prevent defects, and the employee motivation, it encourages yung high performance and continuous improvement. So together, this activities, these functions that helps organizations deliver products and services that consistently satisfy the customer of the organization. Okay, so that's for the forecasting of operations management. Okay, next. Parang hindi ko na-discuss kanina yung upper management. Okay yan. Let's go back to the process management. So there are three categories of the business process from the upper management process down to the supporting process natin. So siguro pahapyo na lang natin regarding dito. So dito sa ating process management, we will discuss another important concept in OM and TQM. So before a company can produce a quality products or deliver an excellent services, it must first manage its processes effectively. So the total quality management teaches us that quality is not achieved by chance. Instead, it is result of well-designed and well-managed process. So let's start with the first one is the upper management process. But before that, when we say a process, ito yung mga related activities or functions or actions that transforms inputs into outputs. So ito yung mga recent activity ninyo or yung learning activity pocket nyo. Okay? So let's start with the upper management or ano bang ibig sabihin ng process management aside dito sa na-mention natin sa ating slide. So the process management, again, when say management, it talks about planning. Management is equal to planning, organizing, monitoring, controlling, and when say process, ito yung mga activities that transform inputs into outputs. Yung goal, the main goal naman kasi ng process management is yung pagiging efficient, effective, consistent, customer focus, and continuously improving. Yun yung kailangan or the main goal of the process or the process management. So, without proper management or without proper process management, nagkakaroon ng mga mistakes. Mistakes become frequent. Resources are wasted, customers become dissatisfied, cost increases, and productivity decreases. So with effective process management naman, nagkakaroon na ng organize. Okay, nagkaroon ng work organize, nagkakaroon din ng yung mga employees naintindihan nila yung mga responsibilities nila, na-improve yung mga quality, and nade-decrease din yung mga cost natin. So nagkakaroon ng parang counterpart if meron at walang process management sa isang organization. And most especially, yung customer satisfaction natin nag-i-increase pag meron tayong process management. So when say process or the upper process or upper management process, these are the processes that govern govern the operation of the entire organization. When say govern, ito yung mga senior executives natin, the top management. Usually sila yung mga responsible for this process, di ba? So they involve the planning, decision making, leadership, and setting the organization's direction. So example ng organizational governance, ibig sabihin ng governance kasi parang siya it's a system of rules or policies and responsibilities that ensure the organization that operates ethically and legally. Example nito, establishing a company policies, ensuring legal compliance, monitoring organizational performance, and promoting transparency and accountability. So sa mga cooperative kasi, they have the so-called the board of directors. And the board of directors creates policies to ensure members' funds are managed responsibly. But before they can turn it into this action, they have to approve during the General Assembly meeting once a year lang yun. They have parang kahit meron silang plano, they have to um approved during GA. So, so organizational strategy or tinatawag natin na strategy, ito yung mga long-term plans that guide the organization. Okay? That guide the organization toward achieving the goals. Like for example, they have to expand into a new market, launching new products, and improving customer service and then nowadays they are investing in technology na. So yun yung the importance or ano ibig sabihin ng upper management processes. Okay? Next, operational processes. So ito yung OP or the operational processes, ito yung core activities, mga core activities that directly create value for customers. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? The process that produce goods or delivery or the deliver of service. So without operational process kasi, the organization cannot fulfill its purpose. Example, yung pag-purchase ng product, diba? Purchasing naman ng organization acquires the raw materials, equipment, or supplies needed for operations. Again, din doon naman sa production or delivery of service, this is where the products are manufactured or service are provided. Like for example, pag-assemble ng mga automobiles, yung mga factory that assemble automobiles, hospital that provides medical treatment, a university conducts classes. So, yung operations management or the operations or sorry operational processes, ito yung the heart of the organization's operations. Without this, you cannot offer product or you cannot offer service to your consumer. Okay? andito din yung marketing as part of the OP. So yung marketing, they have to identify yung mga customer needs and how to promote the products or service to them. Kasama dito yung advertising, the social media campaigns, product promotions, and market research. So yung marketing, it helps attract customers. Okay? Trabaho din nila yung sales. 'Di ba yung sales, it involves convincing customers to purchase products or their service. Like for example, sa mga Watsons, 'di ba, or sa mga department stores, a salesperson sells appliances. Yung insurance agent offers insurance plans. Same to the online store that process customer orders. So yun yung mga ginagawa ng operational processes, marketing, purchasing, at sales. Okay? Next, supporting process. So supporting process, hindi sila directly produces goods or service, but they help operational processes function effectively and efficiently. Like for example, think of them as the organization's support system, the backbone. Without them, core operations would struggle. Like for example, sa mga accounting department natin, the accounting department records financial transactions and prepares financial reports, di ba? Yung payroll preparation, budgeting, financial statements, cost analysis. So, ano bang importance nito? The managers of every organization use accounting information to make informed business decisions. So if the manager know how to analyze financial statement, so it's easier for her or for him to make a decision for their business. At lalong-lalo na pag maganda yung financial statement presented to them. Again, yung mga human resource management natin, the HR manages the organization's employees. Ano ba yung ginagawa nila? Recruitment, hiring, employee training, performance evaluation, compensation and benefits. So, ibig sabihin nito, yung importance nito sa ating organization, the employees perform operational process. So, HR ensures that organization has competent and motivated workers. Same through with the information technology or yung IT. 'Di ba? So IT manages technologies, resources that support business operations, computer systems natin. Mas yung mga computer systems or systems ng organization natin needed sa HR, 'di ba? Sa paggamit nun or verify ng payroll or dun sa mga accounting system natin, business software, networks, cybersecurity or database. So yung importance ito, the technology enables faster communications, accurate record keeping, and more efficient operations. So again, it's very important, diba? It's parang interrelated sila. Walang mababa, walang mataas na position. So the upper management decides to expand production and improve product quality. The operational processes purchase materials, manufacture products, market them, and sell them to the customers. And the supporting process handle payroll. And they have to recruit skilled workers, maintain computer systems, and prepare financial statements. So if one process fails, the entire organization is affected. So if HR cannot hire qualified employees, production quality may decline, di ba? So if accounting provides inaccurate financial information, management may make poor decisions. So yun yung importance ng tatlong to. They are interrelated to each other. Okay? Naintindihan po ba? Okay, thank you so much. Next. Next, the approaches to decision making. So, mayroon tayong mga 7 na approaches to decision making. The first one is model, quantitative approaches, and performance metrics. Hindi yung model na nakikita natin. Okay? So, we have to continue na. Okay? So decision making is one of the most important functions of management. Every day, mga managers decide how to use resources, improve processes, solve problems, and satisfy customers. So dito in total quality management, decisions should be based on facts, data, and continuous improvement rather than assumptions. So dito, as I mentioned kanina, meron tayong model, quantitative approaches, performance metrics, system approach, establishing priorities or yung Pareto principle, the analysis of trade-offs, and degree of customization. So let's start with the model. Okay. So model, as shown to your screen or slide, it is an abstraction of reality or a simplified representation of something. So, example nito yung physical models, ito yung mga prototypes. Andyan din yung mga the graphical models, ito yung mga charts and diagrams or mga formulas and equations, computer simulation models. Ito yung example ng model natin, okay? So instead of experimenting with the actual business, managers use models to study situations, predict outcomes, and evaluate possible decisions. So models help managers understand complex situations without taking unnecessary risk. Like for example, before building a new factory, a company creates a computer model showing the factory layout, diba? Nagkaroon ng 3D model. So the model helps managers identify possible problem before construction begins. Another example dito adding is yung um, preparing a financial budget to estimate future income and expenses before making investment decisions. Ang laking tulong kasi if we have these prototypes na para malaman natin kung magkano or ilan magiging expenses natin doon sa pag-put up pa lang ng business ito. So models kasi it helps the managers make informed decisions that reduce uncertainty, minimize errors, and improve planning before implementing changes. Example ng models or types of models, the physical models. Ito yung mga prototype, di ba? Graphical models, ito yung mga charts and diagrams. Mathematical models, mga formulas and equations, and the computer simulation models. That's for the number one. Number two is the quantitative approaches. When say quantitative approaches, it involves yung mathematical methods, statistics, and numerical data. The managers analyze data to determine the best possible situation or the best possible solution rather than relying solely on the intuition or experiences. So the goal is often to obtain mathematically optimal solution to managerial problems. Example ng quantitative techniques natin, the forecasting, break-even analysis, the inventory calculations, the linear programming, statistical analysis, and scheduling models. Like for example, um, a manufacturing company that wants to determine the most economical quantity of raw materials to order. So using inventory formulas, managers calculate the order quantity that minimizes ordering and storage cost. Kasi medyo mahirapan sa inventory kasi doon pa lang you have to check in day-to-day base yung ating inventory if kaya pa bang i-support yung ating operation. So another example din is yung mga airline. Yung airline using mathematical models or yung sabihin yung pag-schedule ng flights, di ba? That it can assign crews or efficiently, yung mga crew natin efficiently. Ay nagkakaroon din ng delayed aside sa meron ding traffic pag traffic sa mga airline companies, meron ding titigan din dito kung ilan yung macros yung kailangan deploy, mga aircrafts yung kailangan i-deploy para hindi madali yung mga customers nila. Okay? Next is the performance metrics. So the performance metrics, ito yung mga measurable indicators used by the managers to evaluate, monitor, and improve organizational performance. The managers use this measurement to determine whether operations are meeting organizational objectives. Performance metrics provide yung mga factual information for making better decisions. Ito yung mga profit, the operating cost, the product quality, productivity, customer satisfaction, flexibility, and hanggang sa forecast accuracy. So, titingnan din dito sa performance metrics if the factory measures yung mga number of defective products, yung mga production output per employee, titingnan din yun. 'Di ba? And the machine downtime, ilang ilang beses sa isang araw nagkakaroon ng malfunction sa mga machines natin. Okay? Titingnan din sa part ng mga hospital, yung mga patient waiting time, mga satisfaction ng mga customers nila, and the number of successful treatments. Sa mga cooperative naman, they measure the membership growth, the loan repayment rates, and the financial performance. So napaka-importante nito sa TKM that the one of the principles kasi ng TKM is continuous improvement. So managers cannot improve what they do not measure. So performance metrics help the managers to identify strengths and weaknesses of their employee. They have to monitor the progress. They have to detect the operational problems and improve quality through these numbers or measurement sa kanilang operation. So that's for the performance metrics. Next, the analysis of trade-offs. So when we say the analysis of trade-offs, ibig sabihin you have to choose, parang choosing between two or more alternatives. So ibig sabihin na we're gaining one advantage often requires sacrificing another. Parang sacrificial lamb. So managers compare the benefits and costs before making decisions. Like for example, um, yung isang company o yung isang fast food chain considers increasing inventory, 'di ba? Yung advantage nito, nagkakaroon ng better customer service and fewer stock of shortages. Pero ang disadvantage naman nito, nagkakaroon ng higher storage cost and more capital invested in inventory. Again, nag-increase ng inventory, they have to buy raw materials para sa pag-produce ng product nila. So management must determine the most beneficial balance. Again, when say analysis of trade-offs, they have to choose between two or more alternatives where gaining one advantage often requires sacrificing another. So para hindi masayang yung capital or yung capital na i-invest mo doon, kaya bang kitain ng company na yun? Kung mag-invest tayo dito, um, kaya bang i-manage yung risk? So yun yung analysis of trade-offs. Next, degree of customization. Yung degree of customization, ito yung mga how much a product or service is modified to meet the specific needs of your customer. So, pag yung organization or the organization must decide whether to provide yung highly customized products or service or standardize yung products or service. Kasi pag high customization, nagkakaroon ng, ito yung mga products na customized furniture, yung personalized financial advice kasi it based on your needs, it based your age, it based on your sahod or salary. Yung tailor-made clothing, it based on your personality, 'di ba? If you want to be extravagant, 'di ba? Or if you want parang a detailed na cloth or tailor-made clothing, yun yung kailangan mong yun yung ibig sabihin ng high customization. Pag low customization naman, ito yung mga businesses na like bottled beverages, yung packaged snacks, and the standard office supplies. So, ibig sabihin nung wala na, yun na yung nakasanayan, yun ang kailangan na gawin or sundin. So, they have the heads or the managers of the organization balance yung customer satisfaction with the production efficiency and operating cost. So, that's the degree of customization. Next is the system approach. When you say system approach, it views the organization as one. Okay. Ibig sabihin, for example, kamay, iti may isang organization, di classroom yung kuma, nasika, ket, or di na pa nag-OJT, you conduct your OJT, tas nagkamalig yung may isang kadwayo, or di nobra na nga madidijay, it can affect all the performance of your organization or your other blockmates. So parang nangaturo pati may saro pati amin no kadidjayan kung na dahil simplified lang dijay. Pero like for example ko yung parang isa complete system. So composed of many interconnected parts. So nagkakaroon ng that each department depends on the others. So ibig sabihin nito, the managers should always consider how one decision that will affect the entire organization. Like for example the manufacturing company that decides to purchase cheaper raw materials. Although yung purchasing cost decreases, pero nag-decline naman yung production quality. So pag nag-decline yung production quality, customer complaints increases. At the same time, nagkakaroon ng decrease sa sales natin. Ibig sabihin nun, one decision can affect the entire system of the organization. Okay? Yes. And last, the establishing of priorities or establishing priorities and Pareto principle natin. So managers or the heads of the organization often face many problems, but only a few significantly affect organizational performance. When say Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, um, anong ibig sabihin nito? A relatively small number of causes are responsible for a large percentage of the results or problems. Like for example, ado tigreklamo kinda may nga product. Ado nga customer siya tigreklamo dahil ginatang nga product. Pero dagiti kinaado nagreklamo, tagparparang lang di jay kat haan nga na siya at ti pakikitungo dagiti service crew. So they have to focus on that. So the service crew, the poor performance of the service crew, that's the 20%. The 80% of that is yung mga customers mo na nagrereklamo. So you have to focus on the 20% or the 20 rule. So ano ba yung ginagawa ng mga service crew? You have to address that. So example din, di ba, pag maganda pag marami mga complaints sa mga supermarket, you have to investigate, di ba? So, yun titingnan yung mga complaints. Madami nagko-complain talaga, pero yung um, mangingilan na, for example, the products are out of stock or the long checkout lines or the performance of the service crew. So by solving these two issues, by solving these issues first, they have to improve yung kanilang customer satisfaction significantly. Okay? So that's for the approaches to decision making. I hope na you understand kahit na um in-simplify ko dagiti do mga terms stop nung makuan tayo. Okay? Just let me know lang. Okay? So again, before tayo mapandig other nga topics, pag system approach, it views yung organization as an interconnected system. Okay? So ano ba yung pag nag-decide yung isang department, ano ba yung magiging effect nito sa entire organization? Establishing priorities or Pareto principles, it focuses on the few causes that create most problems. The analysis of trade-offs, ito yung pag-balance ng benefits and cost before making decisions. The degree of customization determines how much products or services are tailored to customers. When say model, ito yung mga simplified representation of reality that used for planning and analysis. Or for the quantitative approaches naman, it uses mathematics and data analysis to solve business problems. And the last one is the performance metrics. It uses measurable indicators to monitor and improve performance. So, yung mga approaches to decision making. Okay? Now, as stated dito sa ating PowerPoint and doon sa na-upload ko doon sa ating Google Drive, there are the key issues on the today's business operations, andito yung mga economic conditions, innovation, quality problems, and risk management. Same through with the during the pandemic, di ba, environmental issues. And ngayon, ang dami ng problem regarding nag-surface na ulit yung AI, di ba? So how this AI or artificial intelligence affect the operations of the organization. So economic conditions, most especially during or the post-pandemic period, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic that creates a great challenge, and ang dami ding mga business na nag-surface na. Like for example, mga logistic companies, di ba? So dati-dati hindi naman talaga sikat yung mga logistic companies like the Shopee, like yung mga alam natin andyan yung LBC, diba? Andyan natin yung mga FedEx, andyan yung Togo, pero ang dami na ngayong mga logistic companies that nag-resurface because of pandemic, because all of us hindi na kayang lumabas because of the threat, diba? So innovation din, diba? Pag napanood nyo na yung docu or yung the National Geographic na documentary about Singapore, na one of the yung na-mention ng narrator, yung narrator, sabi niya, if if we can't or if we don't innovate, we will die. Yun yung na-mention ng narrator sa documentary, because alam naman natin na ang Singapore is a small island na hindi ganun talaga kahitik yung mga resources na meron sila. Land area, water pa din, hindi ganun kalaki yung kanilang yung land area and yung water supply nila. So ang ginawa ng Singapore, nag-invest sila sa mga factory. Yung mga factory na to, naging mga laboratory that they can produce vegetables and fruits without using direct sunlight. So gumagamit sila ng artificial sunlight para makapag-produce sila ng vegetables and ng goods and ng fruits to accommodate or to satisfy the needs of their customers or their wants of the customers, diba? Same through with yung mga tubig nila, kinukuha nila sa dagat, and they convert yung tubig nila, yung salt water, into the household. So yun ang ginagamit na panluto, yung iniinom din nila, yung panlaban nila, lahat yun, meron silang mga areas or laboratory to convert this kind of water. So nag-innovate sila, hindi nag-settle for less, 'di ba? So ganun din sana ang gagawin or ginagawa ng gobyerno natin in regards with the needs of their citizen, 'di ba? Hindi lang sila nag-settle kung ano lang yung ang daming-daming resources ng Philippines, pero nakikita pero iba yung nakikinabang. Okay? So marami ding naging threat or parang naging threat din yung pag-innovate din ng ibang companies, ibang organization, and ibang countries with their products and services. So, if you want to innovate talaga, then do it. Don't settle for less. Ba? Kasi pag sa isang organization, if you can't sacrifice one thing, ibig sabihin you are not that parang business-minded. Lalo-lalo na pag kukuha ka ng insurance, 'di ba? Or pag nagkakaroon ka ng idea para mag-invest sa stock market. So sa stock market kasi hindi naman ganun um kung hindi ka katibay yung loob mo para mag-invest sa stock market, then you don't have to do it, 'di ba? So for example, na hindi kayam laang maawan kanyam daghan ti kailangan sugal. So for example, no 3,000 lang ti kayam lang maawan kanyam, then daghan lang ti kailangan nga sugal. No more than that, mo kailangan nga braanan, because no dapat kasi dapat risk taker ka para kasya. The same true with business din, 'di ba? No nyak ti kayang sugal, daghan lang talagang sugal mo. Okay? Again, um sustainability. It's very important in every organization. How are you going to sustain your product, your service? How are you going to sustain, ibig sabihin, how are you going to keep up with the trends, to the needs of your customer? Diba? Next. Yan. Next natin sa supply na. sa supply chain management. Medyo malapit-lapit na tayo sa katotohanan. Okay? Okay, sa supply chain management, medyo ano natin dito kasi it talks about the process on how to deliver the services or the products to our end user, which is the customer, diba? So supply chain, ito yung mga network of the organizations, people, activities, information, and the resource or the resources involved in producing and delivering a product or service from the original supplier to the final user or the end user. So it includes the every stage that adds value to the products or service before it reaches the consumer. So makita niyo mamaya yung figure natin. I think I already showed it to you during our discussion last meeting yata regarding to this one. So, pa yung supply chain is the complete journey of a product or service beginning with the raw materials and ending with the customer satisfaction. So, yung mga components ng supply chain, nandiyan yung mga suppliers of raw materials, manufacturers or the producers, warehouses and distribution centers, transportation providers, retailers, or distributors, same with the final customer. Like for example, yung mga bottled water company natin, andito yung mga plastic supplier, 'di ba? Plastic supply that produces bottles, the water treatment plant that purifies water, 'di ba? So, yan yung mga manufacturer natin that fills and seals the bottles, yung mga distributor natin na that delivers products to supermarkets and the retail stores that sell to the customer. So, every participant contributes to delivering value to the customer. So the importance of the supply chain kasi, it ensures the continuous availability of the products. It reduces production delays, improves customer satisfaction, and it minimizes operating costs that creates competitive advantage. So yun yung supply chain. And the supply chain management, as I mentioned kanina, when say management, ito yung mga planning, di ba? The managing, kasi siya eh. So the supply chain management, ito yung mga systematic coordination, that integration of all the activities involved in sourcing, procurement, production, logistics, and then inventory management. Same through with the distribution and the customer service. So yung goal nito is to deliver the right product in the right quantity at the right time. So to the right customer at the lowest possible total cost while maintaining quality. So the objective of the supply chain management is to improve the customer satisfaction. Iyon ang palagi ko sinasabi. It boils down to the customer satisfaction and that reduce operating cost. Increases din yung operational efficiency and improve the productivity or the product quality. Okay? Hello? Okay. And then it strengthen the supplier um, relationships and enhance the organizational competitiveness. So the major activities of the supply chain management starts with purchasing. Okay, purchasing and procurement. Yun ang the first activity nila. And then production planning, inventory management, transportation down to warehousing, distribution, and customer service that demand forecasting. So the benefit of this one of the supply chain management, oops, hindi siya nag ano, yan, hindi siya nag, yeah, sorry po. So the benefit of the supply chain management, the faster the product delivery, it reduces the inventory cost, the better communication among partners, and improve the quality control and increase profitability. Okay? All right. Next, logistics. Medyo ano siya. Yan. Okay. Yan. Logistics, when I say logistics, as I mentioned kanina, yung as I mentioned earlier, na nag-boom yung mga logistics and logistic companies during pandemic. I mean, meron silang presence pero hindi sila ganun ka talaga na-identify before. So yung logistics, ito yung mga planning, the implementation and control of the efficient movement and the storage of goods, services, and related information from the point of origin of the product to the point of consumption. So ito yung mga end users natin. So logistics is one of the important component of the supply chain management. Without this, o yung mapag-transport ng products, pati din yung warehousing kasama dito ha, yung packaging ng product, the material handling, inventory control, the order processing and distribution. So the importance of the logistics, sorry, it reduces yung transportation cost natin. It improves customer service that prevents stock shortages and support the business's competitiveness. Like for example, during pandemic, yung mga online shopping company that manages logistics by receiving customers' orders and then picking the products from the warehouses, packaging them and delivering them through the courier services na mention natin kanina. When say logistic management naman, again, when we say management, planning, implementing, controlling. And when say planning, implementing, and controlling of the efficient movement. When say logistic management, the efficient movement, the storage and flow of the products, services, and information to satisfy the customer requirements. So yung LM or yung logistic management, it focuses on making logistics operations faster and more reliable and especially cost effective then. Okay? So the key functions of the logistic management, ito yung transportation management, the warehouse management, down the reverse logistics. When I say reverse logistics, ito yung parang the return products na. Okay? Next. Medyo ano na to? As mentioned, okay. Is the aspects as mentioned, the supply chain. Medyo ano natin to. Alright. Let's go to flow management na. Okay? Medyo ano na dito sa ating part ng, wait lang, dito. Okay. Kasi okay na to na ano ko na yung key aspects of key management. Alright, so sa flow management natin, there are three types of managing the process flow. Okay? So the flow management, ito yung coordination sa lahat or coordination of all or everything that moves throughout the supply chain. So effective management, and it ensures yung products, information, and the capital or money that move smoothly among supply chain partners. So and the first one is the product and service flow. So the product and service flow, ito yung mga physical movement. The physical movement of goods and services from suppliers to customers. That includes ito yung pag-procure of the raw materials, pag-manufacture ng mga nakuhang raw materials, pag-package ng output or the final output of that raw material, transportation of that raw material, and the delivery of that raw material na. And if there is a return product, and dito yung mga product returns natin, yung mga hindi na mali yung delivery natin sa kanila. So why product and service flow is important? It prevents yung production interruptions. It ensures product availability. It improves customer satisfaction and reduces waste. So na-mention, parang yung example dito yung mga bakery, diba? Yung bakery receives yung flour from suppliers and then bakes bread. And this bread distributes products to the stores and replaces damaged products if necessary, if hindi merong mga loaf bread na hindi sliced, diba? So they have to return that one. And next is yung ating information flow. When say information flow, ito yung mga parang the exchange of data, and communication among supply chain members. So dito, mga information na share dito, andyan yung mga customer orders, mga inventory levels, yung mga production schedules, the same the delivery status, the sales forecast is very important, and then the supplier performance. Bakit importante yung information flow. So dito yung mga it improves yung coordination, supports yung faster decision making, that and reduces yung uncertainty, most especially if you want to produce or to forecast demand, and then prevents inventory shortages. So example dito yung mga retailer, 'di ba? Mga retailers shares daily sales that supports with mga sales reports with the manufacturers. So production schedules can be adjusted accordingly, depends on the sales reports shared by them. Okay, that's for the information flow. So next is the financial flow. So financial flow, ito yung mga movement of capital or money throughout the supply chain. So it starts with customer payments, supplier payments, credit arrangements, purchase orders, invoices, financial transactions. Ito yung mga financial flow natin. So in the importance of this one, it maintains the business liquidity, supports supplier relationships, ensures smooth operations, and facilitates investment decisions. So dito, sa mga suppliers natin, it is very important that you have more than one supplier. Kasi pag isa ring supplier yung nagkakaroon ng monopoly. So ibig sabihin, pag nagkaroon ng monopoly, they control the price and the quality of the products that they have to deliver to you. So it's very important that you have more than one na supplier. So customers pay retailers then pay wholesalers, then wholesalers, they have to pay the manufacturers, and manufacturers pay suppliers. That's the chain of the financial flow. Okay? Next, management responsibilities. So there are three. Andyan yung legal, economic, and ethical responsibilities. Within the organization din to ha, ang pinag-usapan natin. So as mentioned ito, mga corporate social responsibility. So mga legal responsibilities, require organizations to comply with all the applicable laws and government regulations. Andiyan dito yung mga paano ba magpa-permit, saan kailan mag-secure ng permits, ano ba yung pag sa pag co-op ka, you have to register with CDA. Pag mga private naman, you have to register with SEC or mga other government agencies, the environmental regulations. If meron kang gasoline station, you have to comply with DNR, diba? Pag gusto mo na mag-poultry or yung mga piggery, dapat malayo sa community, diba? Kasi yung amoy. So the product safety standards, the consumer protection laws, mga tax regulations, mga cooperative kasi it's tax exempted, diba? Pero if they exceeded 10 million of the net savings of the co-op, pag nag-exceed doon, they have to pay tax na. Pero pag lower than the 10 million na net savings, they don't have to pay taxes na. And then import and export requirements, if your business deals with the multinational corporations of your, or you want to expand your business internationally. So dito, why we have to comply with the legal responsibility or the regulations of the country. 'Di ba? So you have to avoid the legal penalties, the protects company reputation. Syempre, if hindi maganda yung reputation, you have to conduct CSR to cover up the mess, 'di ba? And then ensures consumer safety. Yun naman ang kailangan natin, the safety of your customer, because if the customer satisfied with your products or service, then they have to go back na. Then example dito, yung mga food manufacturers, di ba? Mga food manufacturers, they must comply with the food safety regulations before distributing the products. Like sa mga entrepreneurship student, if they want to offer this drinking products or yung mga coffee, magpapatest sila sa CAF-SD yata, if not mistaken, if okay siya or hindi. Next is economic responsibilities. Economic responsibilities, ito yung mga it involve yung mga operating efficiently while generating profits and ensuring long-term sustainability. Ano ibig sabihin nun? It reduces yung mga operating cost, improve productivity, increase profitability, and maximize resource utilization and maintain competitiveness. Siyempre, um, titignan din naman natin dito if sumusunod tayo doon sa suggested retail price na mention ng DTI, or hindi tayo talaga titingnan doon sa mga policy na yon. So ano ba yung responsibility ng mga corporation or mga companies na to? Syempre, um meron, for example, sa mga banking institution, pag nag-offer sila ng credit, di ba meron naman tayong credit law na titingnan. Ibig sabihin nun, well, we have to offer this interest not exceeding to this threshold. Dapat hindi na din mas mababa doon para meron tayong competition pa din. Parang ganun din. Okay? Next is ethical responsibilities. Ethical responsibilities, ito yung parang it involve doing what is morally right. Doing what is morally right even when not legally required. Fair treatment of employees. That's very important. Honest advertising, most especially, best example of this is the country of Japan. Regarding to their product, diba? Sa product nila, kung ano yung nasa packaging nila, yun din yung makukuha nila. And then, responsible sourcing. So, saan nila kinukuha yung mga products nila or mga raw materials nila, and then fair pricing as I mentioned kanina sa the price suggested by DTI, and napaka-importante yan, pero nasa Philippines, nasa Philippines lahat ba to or hindi, 'di ba? Kaya minsan nagkakaroon tayo ng trust issues because of what happened na. So, again, ang ethical responsibility, doing what is morally right even when not legally required. So, ang importance naman nito, it builds customer trust and enhances corporate reputation and strengthens yung mga stakeholders relationship natin. So, palagi ko sinasabi sa one of our subject during masters namin, I think that's corporate social or corporate governance yata. Nagkaroon ng ethical dilemma. For example, naglalaban yung professional and personal ethics mo. Nakita mo yung best friend mo na nagnanakaw ng bond paper. So, isusumbong mo ba siya sa head ninyo? Number one, letter A, isusumbong mo ba siya kahit na matanggal yung best friend mo? Number two, hindi mo siya susumbong pero continuous pa rin yung pagnanakaw niya ng mga supplies. Siyempre maglalaban doon yung personal and professional ethics. That's we call ethical dilemma. So, ano ba ang gagawin nyo on your part? Parang ganun. Okay? That's for the management responsibilities. Next is the strategic responsibilities. So strategic responsibilities, it involves yung long-term decisions that involve supply chain performance and support organization goals. Let's start with the supply chain strategy alignment. When say supply chain strategy alignment, ito yung mga activities that should support the organization's vision, mission, and business objectives natin. It ensures yung mga consistency, it improves organizational performance, and supports customer satisfaction. Like for example, yung mga premium brands natin, premium brands designs its supply chain to prioritize quality and reliability over lower cost. So syempre, pag yung brand mo or yung image mo more of premium talaga, syempre you don't have to compromise yung goods na kailangan mong i-produce sa kanila. That's number one priority. Number two is network configuration. When second network configuration determines yung mga number, the location and the capacity of the facilities such as yung factories, warehouses, and distribution centers. Kasi yung objective nito, yung network configuration, it reduce yung transportation cost. They have to improve delivery speed and increase operational efficiency. Okay. When say information technology, yes, information technology, that's the modern supply chains rely on heavily on technology. They have to share information as mentioned kanina. So they have to It includes yung enterprise resource planning nila or yung ERP. Nandiyan din yung warehouse management system nila. That's very common sa atin and yung radio frequency identification, yung RFID, barcoding, artificial intelligence or AI and the Internet of Things. And ngayon, in-adapt din natin dito um, yung pag-shade na lang ng during examinations, diba? So the benefit naman nito yung IT, real-time yung information, di ba? Better na yung pag-forecast because you have the datas na. And improve the inventory accuracy because of the better forecasting and the faster decision making. Okay? Next, the products and service. As we all know, the products and services, di ba? So the organization must continuously improve the products and service niya to meet yung changing customer needs natin kasi nagbabago talaga nagbabago yung mga customers natin, but wag sanang mawala yung core ng product or service natin. If you want to improve your product, dapat hindi mawala yung soul nito. Okay? Andiyan yung product innovation, the customization, quality improvement, and the sustainable product design. Sorry. And next, capacity planning. When si capacity planning determines yung mga resources needed to meet the future demand. Okay? Yan yung workforce planning, equipment requirements, production scheduling, and the facility expansion. Next is the strategic partnership. When I say strategic partnership, andyan din yung mga organization that develop long-term relationships with suppliers, distributors, and logistic providers. It's very important that you have to build rapport with your suppliers, with your distributors and logistic providers, because if you build rapport, then they get na mention that time, they can provide you they can provide you an excellent service talaga, and same with the products or the materials that they have to deliver to you. Siyempre, basta you have a better communication with them, a shared innovation, and then they reduce cost and improve quality. Same with the risk sharing. Again, it's very important that you have more than one supplier to avoid monopoly. Monopoly of the products and the quality of the products, adding ko. And next, distribution strategy. When I say distribution strategy, it means how products reach customers efficiently. Direct selling, di ba? Retail stores, wholesalers, e-commerce. That's very timely na e-commerce ngayon. But we are not that prepared sa e-commerce and the third-party logistic providers. So the objective of the distribution strategy kasi, syempre, faster delivery, lower distribution cost, and greater customer satisfaction. And the last one is uncertainty and risk reduction. Futures fall, nagpagkunan dagat fall of uncertainty. So supply chain face many risks, including dito yung mga natural disasters, hindi natin nakikita yun kasi supplier failures, transportation disruptions, cyber attacks, geopolitical conflicts, and of course, the sudden changes in customer demand. So we have to prepare ourselves, di ba? If you want to risk to reduce yung risk natin, you have to multiple sourcing of suppliers, nagkaroon ng safety stock management, nagkaroon ng business continuity planning. That's very important yung BCP, yung business continuity planning natin. So if you have developmental plan, you have to revisit it, or you have to conduct meetings regarding with this one. Demand forecasting, the supplier evaluation is very important too. And the technology integration hanggang contingency planning, what are you going to do if this happens to your company. So it's very important to maintain your business continuity as mentioned kanina, and reduces financial losses and improves din yung organizational resilience. So if you are ready, if you are um yung foresight mo doon sa operations niyo, maning-mani lang sa inyo to, 'di ba? So, successful chain integrates yung suppliers, manufacturers, logistic providers, and distributors same through the customers into a coordinated system that delivers value efficiently. Kasi yung supply chain management and logistic management ensures the product, the information, and finances flow smoothly while supporting the organizational goals. So through legal, economic, and ethical strategic responsibilities, managers create resilient, customer-focused operations within the framework of total quality management. When I say total quality management, continuous improvement across the supply chain that enhances quality, reduces waste, lowers cost, and builds lasting customer satisfaction and competitive advantage. That's for the last topic that this already discussed na, guys. So the supply chains are a vital part of every business organization and need to be managed effectively to achieve a balance of supply and demand. So that's the chapter 1. So if you have any questions or verification, please just let me know. Let your class representative give me some list na the questions you or verifications you on certain topic so that on sa mga classes ay sa may class ng TTH, you have your first quiz on Thursday. Sa mga merong sa class ng MWF, you have your first quiz on Friday. So thank you so much for your understanding, guys, and see you on Friday because yeah. All right. So thank you so much and have a good day.